program is pretty much getting to where we want it to be. We want to have a program that builds tradition. Every year, these kids need to come in and make sure that they understand what the concept of the game is about. That winning's not everything, but the work ethic, the discipline, the respect are all phases of our game. As long as they understand that, they come in, we do well in those aspects. We take care of the little things, and of course we know the big things will take care of themselves. Our goal every year is to come in to win a state championship, and that's what it will always be. And as long as we build that tradition, which I think we're at that stage right now, we'll be fine.
At Las Cruces High School, our football program is based on the principle of a hard work ethic with things doing the proper way, good things are going to happen. And what we try and instill, we'll use this, we'll bring about this by either using praise or yelling or anything like that. But the main thing we want the kids to do is we want them to respond. And the first thing we tell them when they get here is that whatever goes in one ear goes out the other, and just learn from it. We don't hate you, we love you, and it's a relationship similar to parents, although we're not the parents. The main thing that I want kids to know is that football also teaches them a way of life, and that is, hard work with the diligence and the responsibility will also bring about many successes, not only in football but also in life.
Practices, we just want to make sure that we go out there and we get everything out on Mondays. What we do on Mondays, of course, we give them their scouting report on Monday. They go out there. So it's a learning day for us. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes on Monday, a lot of questions being asked, a lot of defensively we're going to make the checks, offensively we're going to attack their weaknesses. So there's going to be a lot of questions answered, a lot of mistakes on Monday, and it's probably going to be our longest practice because there's going to be a lot of talking. Tuesdays, and we're starting to get a pretty good grasp of their defense. If we're looking from the offensive standpoint, of course, their offense from a defensive standpoint, and we get better at it. So there's less talk, there's more reaction, there's more centering on what we need to do, who we need to block, where we need to attack. And then Wednesday, of course, during the regular week, that's a polished day. We just need to make sure we put everything in our game plan. We throw out what we don't think is good. Of course, we work on what we think will work that week. And then Thursday is this icing on the cake. We go out there, we run our special teams, we go through a 2-minute game, we go through our script, our offensive script, and our defensive checks, and we're out there about an hour. So that's our shortest practice of the week.
The practices, we try and mimic as much as possible what the other team is going to do, and try and give them a real life game experience in the practice. And I think that's one of the main reasons that we're so successful in the last two to 3 years that we've been here, is that the starters are doing well in a game, but a lot of the starters' success can also be attributed to the guys that are giving them the look, the scout team personnel. And I think that's probably the biggest asset we have right now, is getting the proper looks before we play individual teams.
Offensively this year, we're real pleased. I think every year every game we improved. Every game we were very young. We had some changes on the offensive line. We had some changes in the skill positions. But every game the kids came through and they learned. They got a lot better. They got a lot more confident. They understood the offense, and as we progressed, we got more complex. Teams couldn't key on one particular person. We were very versatile. We could throw the ball. We could run the ball. If teams wanted to stack an 8-man front, we had the luxury of throwing it. If they wanted to lay off, then of course we had the luxury of running the football. So we were very pleased with the offensive production this year, and we just expect to get better. The front line did a great job, all year long. I know we had some injuries. A couple of key players went down with injuries, but they came through. The people who had to show up and step up at the time, they did. We had a couple one Big Mike was ineligible. He came back. So, I think the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season, our offensive line was pretty much intact. They did a good job. They started communicating. I think that's when we started to gel as an offense, because in our philosophy, it starts with the offensive line. If you can't block, of course, we're not going to be able to run the ball, and definitely we won't be able to throw the ball. So our offensive line did a great job with all the injuries that we had, with shuffling people back and forth. I know Michael Shafter went from center to tackle. John Tucker had to step up at guard. Daniel Cray and Daniel Rogers ended up getting hurt. So throughout the year, we faced some adversity on the line, and they came through and they did a really good job.
defense is so much a side of the ball that has determined the outcome of a game. You know, you can always outscore an opponent, but you always got to keep them to a point where they're not outscoring you. And you know, Coach Miller always said that defense wins championships. Vince Lombardi says that. You know, all the top coaches know that, and it's a do or die situation every time you're out on the field. And with our defense, you know, we were very successful this year, and sometimes we took some lumps early on in the season to learn our system. But once again, you know, we had more successes than letdowns.
Bumble on the play, picked up by Matt.
This year's coaching staff exceeded all expectations, definitely by everybody's means. I think you know, no one expected us. I know the flack or whatever you want to say on our staff was that we're very young, didn't have enough experience, things of that nature, and that was just a challenge to myself too, because you know, I was the head coach here, and that really didn't mean anything to me. I knew we had a good staff. I knew we put together a good staff. And the experience factor, we may not have as many years put into the program per se as, you know, 30, 20, 15 years. You know, I think, you know, I've been here 10 years. But a lot of our staff members, they played, and they experienced it through playing. If you look at a lot of staffs, they get people up, you know, on their staff that may have played baseball, may have played, you know, ran track, may have not even participated in football. But with our staff, I have, you know, staff members that played Division I football, had opportunities to go different colleges, JC, So they experienced a lot. They experienced different coaching staffs. They experienced the good and bad of different staffs. So I had, and pretty much all of my staff were very good in what they did. They were very good in the positions they played. So that was an asset in itself. And someone asked me that too. Well, Jim, you're 33 years old and going to be, and is that enough experience? Well, I tell them I've been playing since I was 8. So that's 25 years experience in itself. Daryl does a great job with the training staff. They do a great job out there, and it's a respect thing, and I'm all for that. I know Daryl, Coach Wooten is for that. Our kids don't disrespect those trainers or our managers. They're out there, they're busting their butt just like our kids are, and we respect them just as much as they should respect their coaches. And it's a give and take thing, and like I said, Daryl does a great job with those trainers.
Our training staff, headed by Daryl Wooten, is probably one of the best in the state, if not the nation. We have a tremendous discipline, and they're, sometimes other staffs always complain about distractions, and these people are totally professional, and they go well out of the way to make sure that their professionalism shows. And I have nothing but commendation for the training staff. The managing staff, I think everyone knows it's headed by Melissa Mitchell, but she has tremendous help from the other girls, Elizabeth Weber, who's also a senior that's been here for since we've been here. But the young ones have learned that it's hard work, and Melissa and Elizabeth have done a lot of hard work this year with little or no recognition. And for this, I thank them, because they are very instrumental in getting things done the right way here at Las Cruces High School. We have a lot of respect for Mayfield. Coach Bradley came in there, and he did a lot of things that had to bring up our expectations here in order to compete with them. And then over the last 2 years, we've not only beat Mayfield. I mean, we've shown expectations that we're going to dominate our crosstown rival.
Last year was great to play in front of 24,000, and this year I guess we played in a little bit less, because everybody thought it was going to be a blowout between us and Mayfield. We came through, and we showed Mayfield that we're a great team. It's just great to know that we could have beat the state champions.
I know we won all 3 phases of the game, and them being the state champion now makes it sort of bittersweet. We know we beat them. So what's that say? Are we the best team in the state? We just wish we had that opportunity to play them again, but we didn't. We achieved our goal, and that's to win the district title again, to repeat. We did that, and we're happy about that. But it does give a bittersweet end with them winning the state championship. It's sort of like we won the battle, they won the war. But that's something to build on. And of course, this coming up year, we'll try to three-peat.
I thought it was a great season this year. I had a lot of fun being a senior. It was a little funner than last year because I was a junior and I wasn't that experienced, but this year was a lot more fun. It's funner to play with most of the guys I played with through middle school, high school. It was fun.
The big differences between this year and last year is last year they had more experience than we did. We lost a lot of starters, and no one thought we were going to get that far because we were young. We were a young team, and we did pretty good for a young team. And just a blast going that far, making it one more step than last year.
I thought we had a really good season this year. Would have been better if we would have got a little bit farther, but I thought we did really good. And coaching staff was great. They helped us get along. We got a lot better as the season went along, and hopefully they'll be better next year.
This season has been a great season for me because I've never been on a winning team. I played in front of all those people against the Mayfield game. My adrenaline was pumping. It was a first-time experience, and it's gonna be in my mind forever. This has been a great season for us. The coaching staff was great. I'm gonna miss those guys when I graduate.
What I really like, though, about the way that Coach Miller and his staff and the players conduct themselves in our football program, aside from the fact that they won games, 9 games, aside from the fact that they're the district champs, aside from the fact that they beat Mayfield, what I really like about the way that they conduct themselves is the superior work ethic and a great attitude that they take towards their competition, their games, and their program. And their success stems from that great work ethic and that attitude, and very appreciative of the way that they represent this school as individuals and as a team, both in the city of Las Cruces and across the state of New Mexico. And their success is definitely a result of their hard work and the way that they do business, and that's what I like best about them. The wins will come, and they have come, and they'll continue to come. But it's because of the way Coach Miller and his staff approach the game, and that's what I like best about them.
As the 1998 football season came to an end, there were many great memories that I will always cherish. I will never forget the senior class that helped us achieve many of these goals, not only on the field, but off the field as well. They represented Las Cruces High School and the football program with a great deal of class and respect. Now that the torch is being passed on to the underclassmen, I know for a fact that these young men will do a superior job carrying on the tradition that these seniors have set before them and will sacrifice whatever it takes to achieve the ultimate goal, a state championship. Our motto, football is not a sometime thing but an all-the-time thing, is well taken among these young men. And with the tradition we have established here at Las Cruces High School, we expect to win. And that means a state championship in 1999.